Hello everyone, and welcome to this unboxing video for Machina Arcana! This is a Kickstarter game by Adreama Games. The easiest way to summarize this game, without the blurb on the back, is it's Steampunk Cthulhu, or Arkham, whatever you want to use for naming. But it is summarized in a few words as a cooperative steampunk horror adventure. And the blurb on the back is, have you ever been frightened into paradise? In Machina Arcana, players take on the role of explorers thrown into dreadful halls, scratching for survival and progressing through the chapters from one of the many horror stories. Even if they manage to stay alive until the end of the story, they will face a special minigame at the finale of each scenario. The unique environment, interactive inventory, combat mechanics, and tactical diversity are all enveloped in an integral storytelling experience that provides both total immersion in the world and full replay value. But beware! I don't know why it's an exclamation mark. A horde of unique and terrifying monsters are bent on destroying your party. If that isn't enough, horror itself disrupts and hinders any remaining hopes in these comfortless chambers. Yeah, lots of interesting stuff. This was one I was semi-looking forward to, and remember nothing about, like, the gameplay or components or anything, because, well, that's how I do majority of Kickstarters. I'm either really looking forward to it, and thus remembering what it was for the most part, and still forgetting a decent chunk, forgetting it entirely because I'm not looking forward to it as, like, a game I want to play as soon as it gets here, or it's Kingdom Death, where I'm actually keeping track of the updates and regularly looking back at them, because more, please. So, let's get into this. Now, I'm guessing this plays a lot like Mansions does in terms of not gameplay, but like design and different scenarios where you pick a scenario and then it has a certain length, because the time is 30 to 240 minutes, and it is 1 to 4 player, fully co-op, to my knowledge, game. But also, since it doesn't say time per player, that could just be 30 to 60 minutes per player. Cover is nice and simple, too. Alright, so I do know from a quick glance at the Kickstarter before opening this up, because I got the premium edition, there are 2 expansions and then all the stretch goals as well, which would have been with the normal edition. I don't think they're included in here. I'm guessing this is just the core game. A little blurb of... Oh, this looks like a component list and a quick summary of certain things, but that was the first thing in there. Then we've got the rulebook, which, ooh, nice amount of summary and iconography on the back. Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff in here. I don't know if that's a chapter summary or if it's the actual chapters. It looks like it's just a summary, because then it just goes straight into monster behaviors after that. Nothing like this chapter specific. Then we got some punch-outs, some of which have already fallen out, or so I hope. I don't know what these are. Any of them. These look like various sigils. Hell, these ones almost look like the yellow sign. Then we've got some arcane glyphs. Hearts, which are gold on one side, blacked out on the other. Ooh, haha, one just popped out. So, there it is. The tile-looking things, yeah, these are just popping up so easily, as 2 more just popped out. The tile-looking things are this on one side, this on the other. I don't know what they are, and more are literally popping out as I'm touching the thing. And we've got more cardboard that's plastic wrapped, including one that looks similar to the one I was just holding up. Nope, it just has the tile-like things. The dry things out gel beads. I actually keep those around because sometimes things get wet that shouldn't, like phones. A general double layer board that is indented. Basically, in other words, the top layer has things punched away, and then the lower layer is just there. It is a little off by the looks of it. Like, it's a little misaligned, but only a little bit, not tremendously. Then we've got what look like a bunch of standees for various monsters, as well as a couple more hearts, the tile things, and then whatever these are, which are the same on both sides. as are the enemies. Oh, I'm guessing these 4 here are the players. Because, yeah, they don't have names unlike everything else. All that stuff. Very familiar names like Shogoth, Byakuya, Nightgaunt, Flying Polyp. That's the only one I don't like. No, there's a couple others now that I don't recognize from anything. Then we got another board that's the same layout, but different standees. 4 more playable characters, I'm guessing, and then a bunch more other things like Spawn of Cthulhu, Amigo. And then another one of those with a lot more blanks, as the last one had 1 blank, and this one actually has 2 more than just the 4. Burp. Envoy of Hoster. Hoster. Take some horror damage. Arkham Horror LCG reference. Then we got some what look like standard boards. These are very similar to the Super Dungeon Explorer ones, including the fact that they have some things already on there in terms of, like, I'm guessing that's supposed to be a spawn point. But, yeah. Again, steampunky. Like, oh my god, almost everything is covered in gears and grates and things. It's like, hey, it's made of brass and wood. Whee! A bunch of these. I think this might be what the rest of this is. No, in fact. A few more of those. And then the rest of this is, I don't know. The Horror in the Ice. Oh, these might be scenario-specific maps. Because they're blank on one side with a name. And then look a lot more unique with, like, something in the corner in the case of 2 of them. Get that out of the way. Some of the tokens that had fallen out earlier. Then what I'm guessing are the player boards, or explorers, including specific icons that were the similar, runic ones. So I'm guessing those were used to identify things. And they have what look like energy, health, and, I don't know, gear track? Lightning bolt, heart, and gear. And other than the icons being different on the top, they all are the same, including on the back. We've got a nice little drawstring bag. It's empty. It says the game on it. Multiple standees. Clearish and black. Not gonna bother taking those out of there. Ooh! Various wooden pegs. And they do actually have an icon on them, so they're not just random. Bloop. So there's what looks like 4 of each set, and then there's this big one? I'm guessing it's not the only one in there that's different, but there's a bunch of them in here, and I don't want them, like, just all floating around right now. Then we've got some dice, a bunch of 6-sided dice, and then a 10-sided die. The 10-sided die is a standard 1 through 10 die. Just very much the Art Deco, I think it is. The art of, like, what steampunk would be minus all the leather. And then we've got 3 other dice. There are 2 more of each of the white and blacks. And then only 1 of the yellow, which has hearts and gears on it. And at least 1 side blank. Then the white one is a blank, 3 1s, and 2 2s. And the black is blank, 2 1s, 2 2s, and a 3. Simple enough. And then all the rest is cards and other tokens that had just fallen in here. So let's start with these bigger ones. This might actually be something that I may open and then immediately put back down. These are probably the scenario stuff, and as people who have watched stuff on my channel before, no, I don't like spoiling story things. For you or myself. But let's get this open, because I'm not too sure what this is. Oh, it's very clear this is story stuff. Yeah, I don't know if it's meant to be which direction it's played in, but I am going to show off the backs of them because they've got a bunch of, just real quick, because they're all, by the looks of it, different art, and that's always nice. Ooh, nicely appreciated. I'm going to stop that before that gets worse. Move some tokens out of the way that had fallen. Most of them were in that specific spot. Then what I'm guessing is monster cards, because it has Spawn of Cthulhu on the front. Just gonna take a quick look. Yes, including the fact that I think they have enemy versions of the explorers you can play. Either that or these guys aren't friendly. But we've got... It's honestly, it's all the standees that were there before, so I'm not going to go through those again because I don't know the context of what the things on the cards mean. Then we've got some long cards. Like, they're not standard size. They're a little shorter, and they're about as wide as the normal-ish small cards are. Yeah, there's a few millimeters in difference in height. There's 3 like this. My guess is this is items and stuff. So one of the big things different about this game from others is items are not craftable, but module. So you put things together to make things better. Yeah, these are various item cards. And these names are just all over the place. Trench coat, hobnail boots, charge boots, burst mail, spectral levitators. They're just boots with bat wings by the looks of it. And there's just so many of these. Displacer vest. Looks like it's made from a D&D displacer beast almost. There's just too many of these, and I don't have the context of, like, what they are. Otherwise, I would show these off in more detail. If people would like to see that at a later date, I will do so. Oh, there's 4 packs like that. There were 2 on top of each other. But yes, if you would like to see this or any game you've seen me unbox in more detail, please ask. Many of them I do have to still get permission from the company to show off their artwork and potentially their game. Anything done by Asmodee, which would also include FFG and Z-Man, I'm all set for. And many of my Kickstarters I've already asked for. I just never got around to doing them. But yeah, this looks more like a bunch of weapons. Yeah, this is almost all weapon. Procedure, cogs, just cogs. But yeah, this is an example of things getting attached. It's increase weapons attack roll by 3. I don't know if that's 3 more dice or just increase the roll by 3. Like, as in add 3 to the die. Savage blade. I'm not trying to pronounce half of these. I look at them and it's just like, that's a jumble of words. Kind of like how steampunk is. It's just a jumble of things. I like steampunk, but I don't really love it. Gone to conventions for it, had a fun time, but Still want to get the Omni Park role-playing book. They're a steampunk music band, and they had a role-playing book made on the world that their songs are their songs take place in. This looks like a bunch of random gear, like accessories and stuff. Transient combustor. Yeah, so this is the level of ridiculousness. Banish target monster, spawn monster. Okay, but it's clearly just a modified camera. Necromantic bomb. I don't even know what that's trying to be. Ancient puzzle box. Woo! It's a puzzle box, like Hellraiser style, just not the same design. Right, last one that size. But yeah, these are so out of context in terms of what they are. It's just like, I have no idea. And then this one just looks like more stuff. Like there's more weapons in here, more regular items in here. Asucolius? When adjacent to rubble, you are ethereal. I'm more reading this because of the image. That's a deer skull, I think. with just a bunch of spiky stuff coming out of it. That's like something more out of 40k. Alright, and then we've got 3 small cards packs, which look to be more status effects, but also seem to be kind of not organized. Which happens a lot with some of these games of just like, here, we just put like-size stuff together, we didn't actually care. You'll sort it out. Hellboy was a lot like that. Ugh. Okay, yeah, eye infection. And by eye infection, I'm not even going to show this just to not gross people out, but there's bugs crawling in the eye. The description should be bad enough. Yeah, and these look like a bunch of debuff cards, honestly. Face infection, similar kind of thing. Again, lack of context, yeah, I will be just wasting your time. Most of them are nothing but text, is the other thing. Like, those are 2 of the only ones with images. A lot of the same kind of stuff. So these are pretty much the only 2 backgrounds that I've seen throughout the entire thing, is this one and this one. So, like I said, they look entirely mixed. They're not in alphabetical or anything like that from the looks of it. And again, this is how Hellboy was. But I don't mind it, because once it's here, I can organize a game however I want. There's very few games that I don't at least tinker around with the organization. Dice Forge is one of the few, because, oh god, that tray, yes. Also, this does actually have a really nice tray, and I'll show that off in a few seconds. And then, yeah, just more of the same. And, yeah, I think of the last 2 packs, they were all nothing but text. But yeah, the tray is all nice. It's got spaces for all the cards, some underspace for mainly the dice. That was where the 2 packs of cards were. And space for the player boards was that spot there, and it just fits nicely. So everything other than the boards themselves, like, I'm hoping all the punch-out components will fit in the lower part. The dice do, so at least those fit, and the punch-out components are a lot smaller. And the standees were there to begin with, but it was raised up a bit, and I'd like it to fit flushly. We'll see how that goes. You know, beggars can't be choosers. Regardless, that's everything in here. I'm hoping this game turns out really well, and because the idea of steampunk Cthulhu-ish kind of stuff, or Lovecraftian, was definitely yes, please, but it might just be a pile of garbage for all I know. But there's only one way to find out, and that's Kickstarter. Like, you take a risk. You take a risk on it coming in the first place, a la Super Dungeon Explorer, which I've been waiting on for over 3 years past its estimated delivery date, not the end of the campaign. But that's an issue unto itself, and it's still coming, slowly. Or you get games where it's just like, or whatever you're getting, that's just, okay, I got this, turned out to be garbage, it was what they said they were going to do, but I wanted more, or was expecting more. Dungeon Diggers is kind of like that. It hasn't moved from under Cthulhu there in a long time. That game, I like it in concept, but needs some house ruling. Not the point. If you want to see more about this game, feel free to ask. I'm going to give it a try, maybe even later today from recording this. But who knows. Regardless, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to press that like button. If you think somebody else will enjoy this, feel free to share this video. Either way, it'll help this video get seen more. If you didn't like this video, go ahead and press that dislike button. I won't mind, but please leave a constructive comment as to why. Also, feel free to comment in general, such as, again, do you want to see more about this game, or any other games that I've done unboxings for, or I've talked about, or you can see in the background, or board games in general. And if you want to see more like this, be it more unboxing videos, my board game overviews, my painting videos, and anything else that I try to do on this channel, feel free to subscribe. Regardless, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.